allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please remain standing. As many of you know, we use this opportunity in our meetings to remember those members of our community who have passed since our last meeting. And since our last meeting, we lost Robert Sanders of Kendall Way at the age of 93. Our thoughts are with Mr. Sanders' family and his friends. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, first up on our agenda this evening, which is rather lengthy, is approval of a warrant that was distributed earlier to the members of the board. The warrant is in the amount of $522,431.11. Ms. DiGiacomo, a little bigger than normal budget, anything, okay? Warrant rather, nothing outstanding?
There's just our night shift bill is on here. As usual, that's $202,736.04. That's our monthly fee, and that's for June.
Okay. Is there any questions on the warrant? And if so, direct them to Ms. DiGiacomo. And if not, somebody move approval of the warrant?
Motion to approve the warrant.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? The warrant is approved.
Thank you.
Welcome. The minutes of April 27th were distributed earlier as well. Are there any comments, edits
Bless
on
you.
minutes?
Thank you.
And if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve the minutes of April 27th.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, and the minutes are approved. Thank you. We've got a few announcements. First up, I for one am happy to be back in Village Hall. We are socially distant. We've got the barriers up. We will continue to follow those protocols as long as it's necessary. But it's nice to be back in the room where we can all see each other. One of the things that makes this possible is that as a group, as a community, we've been careful during this pandemic. Folks are getting vaccinated. If you haven't, please do so. If not for yourself, for the benefit of everyone and protection of everyone around you. We are down into single digits in terms of active cases in Sleepy Hollow, and that is tremendous. We've been there for a couple of weeks now. We're just put into perspective, active cases mean people who live in Sleepy Hollow who have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 14 days. At one point, we were up, our active cases were more than 240. In that one of those 2-week periods. We've had close to 1,800 active cases in the village. So roughly 10,000 people, 18% of the population in the village has tested positive at one time or another. So with it coming down, that's really dramatic. It's great news. It's great news for our region. So let's all please keep it up so we can continue to meet here. Our kids can go back to school in the fall, in the classroom, with their classmates and their friends, and all the other things that we need to do. This has also led to some other changes that I'm really happy about, and I'm going to turn to the Deputy Mayor to announce some of those, because they're the good stuff.
Oh, okay. You're talking about, so let me just pull up my calendar. So, village events will be happening this fall, so we're very excited about that. You want me to name them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all
Okay.
the stuff that we couldn't do last year.
Okay, great. So JP Doyle's will be hosting their block party again on Saturday, September 18th, right, Anthony?
Yep.
Then we will have on the 25th is going to be
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. I don't have it in my calendar for some reason. I wrote it in another calendar. October 2nd will be the Cultural Festival. October 9th or the 10th, we're not sure, will be the street fair, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. And then the 16th will be the Sleepy Hollow International Film Festival. And then the 22nd and 23rd of October will be the Hayride and Block Party. So we're happy to have everything back.
And fireworks on the 4th of July.
Yes, and fireworks on the 4th of July.
Right. So let's all continue to be safe, and so that we can get back to doing so many of the things that we love doing here.
And I just want to add also, we're going to have some concerts in the park at Haran's Landing as well. Those dates are yet to be determined, but they will be happening.
So weather's getting good. It's time to be outdoors. Looking forward to it. Thank you for this. All right, we'll move on to department reports. We'll start with the administrator, Mr. Giacchio.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is our annual stormwater management report that we required by law to give every year. Polluted stormwater runoff is often transported to municipal separate stormwater systems called MS4s and ultimately discharged into local rivers and streams without treatment. The EPA's Stormwater Phase 2 rule establishes an MS4 stormwater management program that is intended to improve the nation's waterways by reducing the quantity of pollutants that stormwater picks up and carries into stormwater systems during storm events. Common pollutants include oil and grease from roadways, pesticides from lawns, sediment from construction sites, and carelessly discarded trash such as cigarette butts, paper wrappers, and plastic bottles. When deposited into nearby waterways through MS4 discharges, these pollutants can impair the waterways, thereby discouraging recreational use of the resource, contaminating drinking water supplies, and interfering with the habitat for fish, aquatic organisms, and wildlife. As part of this MS4 stormwater management program, the village is required by law to submit an annual report to the Department of Environmental Conservation. This report outlines the steps the village has taken over the past year to manage its stormwater system. These steps include water system mapping, monitoring outfalls, enforcing stormwater violations, maintaining catch basins, street sweeping, and making sure developers comply with stormwater regulations. Unfortunately, some of the village's public outreach efforts this past year were put on hold due to COVID-19, but we still were able to have 2 village-wide cleanup days. A few weeks ago, we had our best one we've ever had, and we do expect to step up our public outreach efforts as restrictions are lifted, and we will partner with the Environmental Advisory Committee to assist us in this area. We encourage residents to share any stormwater comments, concerns, and questions with us. They can do this at a village board meeting or in writing, or they can call me, Anthony Giacchio, directly at 366-5105. A copy of the report is available at Village Hall and on the village website, sleepyhollowny.gov. That's the report.
Thank you, Mr. Giacchio. Any questions?
I have a question. Are we doing anything as a village to encourage redirection of downspouts and gutters to areas of infiltration? So instead of downspouts and gutters being directed toward the like CSO Street where there's no catchment basins and into the sewer line, are we doing anything to direct it elsewhere on a property so it's not going into the combined sewer?
I want to defer to Sean, but I'm pretty sure that each case is a case-by-case basis, and wherever there's opportunity to leave the water on site, I think is taken into consideration when the site plan approval is set up. We wouldn't go independently to private property now to change their water system.
Great. Thanks.
Before we move on to public comments, there are a couple of reminders that I want to give folks. Hydrant flushing continues this week. It'll be downtown and in Weber Park. It's 9 a.m. to 2:45, 2:45 in the afternoon. So the least disruption on household water supply. Next week, during the same hours, it'll be in Sleepy Hollow Manor and Phillips Manor, and the Regeneron facility at Phillips Hospital. So we'll get the exact dates out, but it should continue. Ms. McCarthy-Tompkins, dates?
Next week in the Manors, and because of the hospital, it's from 7 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. The
Okay.
hydrant flushing.
So kind of late at night, because
Yes.
nobody gets sick at night. Right, I understand.
I don't know why, it's always been like that because of the
Okay,
hospital.
and the days, obviously not on Monday.
No, it's Tuesday through Friday,
Okay.
7 p.m. to 2:30 a.m.
Okay. Great. Leaf blowers. Gas-powered leaf blowers are banned in this village over the summer, and that starts officially this Friday, May 28th. And they are banned until September 30th. So not Labor Day, doesn't start on the 4th of July, it starts this Friday, okay? I think it's at least $150 fine first time through, so this time when, especially this year, kids are outside, so go old fashioned, get a rake, you'll live. But no gas powered blowers. Offices of this village would be closed on Monday in observance of Memorial Day. So as usual, the sanitation routes that are normally run on Mondays, they'll be picked up on Tuesdays. So normally if you put out your garbage on Monday morning, wait until Tuesday morning, and it'll get taken care of. I also want to point out that an excellent way to observe Memorial Day is to go to Patriots Park at 10 o'clock in the morning, and there will be a ceremony with our veterans and honoring those who have lost their lives in the many conflicts that this country has been involved in over the last couple of centuries. So please show your respect and your support for those who've given all for this country and those who continue to risk their lives for us. I look forward to seeing you there Monday morning. Lastly, the Wishing Well photo contest is still open. The submissions are due on June 1st. So visit the website at sleepyhollowny.gov for further details, but we're looking forward to seeing more submissions as well. And good luck to the folks who have and will submit their photos. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Does anyone wish to address the board? Okay, I see no one here. And if anybody's watching and wants to address the board, you may do so at the end of the meeting. So come on down after we finish our resolutions and some of our other business. So we'll move on into resolutions. If someone could take the first one on the maintenance agreement on the clock.
I'll take it. Resolution of the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow to approve maintenance contract for village clock. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the Mayor to sign the attached contract from Verdin Clocks to maintain the village clock. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Resolution's approved. You don't have to.
I'm teasing.
Who wants?
I'm
Yes.
teasing.
I'd like someone to
Usually
be the
we,
next
usually
one,
we
okay?
go in order.
This is why I need to be near him.
Looking at the clock. I mean, on the clock, actually, before I read the resolution, I think we should think about having the detailing painted on it, at least the gold banding. It's a little bit rough. Okay, so resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving a request from the PBA. Be it resolved that the mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approve a request made by the Police Benevolent Association, or PBA, for community outreach event on Friday, August 21st, from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. at Reverend Sykes Park, and August 28th is a rain date. Be it further resolved, the Board of Trustees directs the Chief of Police to coordinate the public safety issues with the applicants if necessary. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Resolution's approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow authorizing EMS agreement. Whereas the pursuant to New York State law, the village may contract with independent contractors for the furnishing of emergency services to or for the village or any department thereof. And whereas the village's emergency medical services, Sleepy Hollow EMS, is an entirely volunteer village organization that provides ambulance services to the village and certain areas within the town of Mount Pleasant. And whereas the village's Board of Trustees evaluated the contractor's proposal, qualifications, experience, and cost, and have determined that awarding the contract to the Mid-Hudson EMS District and the Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps, OVAC, are in the best interests of the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees accepts the Mid-Hudson EMS District proposal for the provisions of emergency medical technicians and authorizes the village administrator, Anthony Giacchio, to sign a contract with Mid-Hudson Ambulance District, care of Town of Ossining, located at 16 Croton Avenue, Ossining, New York, 10562, for the payment amount that is stated in the attached contract for the fiscal year of 2021-2022. Figured I'd try to look for the
Price.
Is it on the last page?
Last page.
And,
Contract.
Is it the per hour?
Schedule.
Anthony?
It's on the last page of the.
Last two, do you want me to read this,
Attachment
the scheduling?
I don't think you need to.
Do I need to? Going once?
No.
Going twice? No, so moved.
A. Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? The resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving unused vacation time carryover. Whereas the vacation time policy in the village's personnel manual entitles employees the opportunity to carry over unused vacation days at the end of the fiscal year at the discretion of the Board of Trustees. And whereas Earl Tompkins' request is due to staffing needs and Deanna Loha her request is due to a clerical error. And now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves unused carryover vacation time to the following employees. Earl Tompkins, 6 vacation days to be used by June 30th, 2021. Deanna Loha, 10 vacation days to be used by September 1st, 2021. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow authorizing retainer agreement. Be it further resolved that Dana Tavano be paid the sum of $800 per month pursuant to the attached retainer agreement effective upon mutual execution of the retainer, and be it further resolved that Dana Tavano shall continue to be an independent consultant effective February 1, 2020. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, there's an amendment to that resolution.
I'm sorry, did you read effective June 1st, 2020?
No, February 1, 2020.
The sum of $800 is effective June 1st, 2021.
Yeah. So could you, I didn't get the, welcome to substitute counsel from McCarthy Kindergarten this evening to Allegra Beals. We're happy you're here because now you can answer a question for us. We didn't complete voting on that resolution, so can it be withdrawn? Can we just say yes, please?
I'm sorry, can
Just
you?
say yes.
I think that should be okay.
Fine. Would you withdraw your motion and then, or resubmit with effective June 1st, 2021?
Absolutely. All right, so I'm resubmitting the motion to approve this with the effective date of June 1st, 2021. So
Great.
moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Okay, any discussion on the amended? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Resolution's approved. Thank you, Ms. McCarthy-Tompkins.
Resolution of the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow authorizing salary adjustments for non-union employees. Whereas the Board of Trustees has considered salary adjustment for non-union employees, and whereas the Board of Trustees has determined that a 2% salary increase is appropriate at this time for non-union employees. Now therefore be it resolved, effective June 1, 2021, the annual salary of the following employees shall be increased by 2%. Anthony Giacchio, Matthew Arone, Paula McCarthy-Tompkins, Joan Bucci, Carol Ribish, Richie Gross, Sean McCarthy, Joseph Pavia, Pamela Kroll, Sarah Di Giacomo. Yeah. Did I say it right?
You did.
Okay. Anthony Buetti, Andrea Ruggiero, and Diana Loha. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I would just like to say on behalf of the board, thank you all for the work that you put in for us. Every day, every month, it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Especially in the last year.
Thank you.
It's been a tough year.
And on behalf of the staff, we thank you.
We didn't vote yet.
We're going to thank you.
Again.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Mr. Giacchio?
On behalf of the staff, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, next up.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving part-time office employee. Whereas there's a need for a clerical assistant in the clerk's office, and whereas Stephen Figueredo of Sleepy Hollow has done community service, has volunteered, and has worked as a seasonal employee since 2016 in the clerk's office, and is well-versed in some of the essential duties of the office, and is a good candidate for this position. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow hereby approves Stephen Figueredo of Sleepy Hollow to the part-time position of intermediate clerk, not to exceed 17.5 hours weekly in the village clerk's office at a salary rate of $15 per hour, effective June 1st, 2021, under the direct supervision of the village clerk. Said appointment has been approved by the Westchester County Department of Human Resources. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Resolution's approved.
Thank you.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving delinquent accounts to be entered as utility arrears on the village tax roll. Whereas Chapter 411-15, subparagraph C of the Village Code permits the village to re-levy unpaid water and/or sewer bills on the property owner's tax bill, and whereas despite attempts at collecting such payments, certain customers have thus far failed to pay or begin to pay the same, and whereas in order to obtain payment, the village must place a lien against the property owner's real estate taxes for such unpaid water and/or sewer bills, whether or not the bills were incurred in the owner's name. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approves the attached list of delinquent accounts of the Village of Sleepy Hollow Water and Sewer Department, and that these accounts shall be entered as utility arrears on the 2021 Village of Sleepy Hollow tax roll in the amount of $184,612.51. I'm not going to read the list. Do I have to read the list? Thanks. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? The resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow authorizing year-end budget transfers and journal entries. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow authorizes the village treasurer to complete the attached budget transfers and journal entries to close out the fiscal year 2020-2021 pending all final expenditures. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? Resolution's approved.
Thank you.
And Sarah, does this get posted? Will this get posted with the budget? Is that how that, does that get?
Well, at the end of the year, we're still getting at invoices and revenue, so
That's
it'll
what
be right before our
Once
audit.
it's final?
Yes, once it's final, then
Perfect.
some of the numbers will change a little bit,
Sure.
but then they will be posted
Sure.
to our final numbers.
Okay, thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow confirming the actions of the ambulance corps. Whereas the Board of Trustees approves the actions and recommendations of the ambulance corps members as stated in the enclosed memo to the board, which is attached, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees directs the village clerk to notify the ambulance chief in writing of this resolution. And I'm just going to read the memo. Please be advised that our May 2021 monthly meeting, the following members were voted into the ambulance corps for membership: Lauren Ojito, Nelson Rico, Melissa Rodriguez, Majori Mendez. And the following member has been reinstated to active roster: Julio Sosa. Signed respectfully, Angela Martello, Chief of EMS, Sleepy Hollow Ambulance Corps. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Just on the board welcomes 4 new members and the returning member, and we thank you for volunteering with our ambulance corps and helping us keep us all safe. We appreciate your work. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? And the resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving disciplinary action. Resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow and/or Police Commissioners hereby authorizes pursuant to unconsolidated law section 5711-Q the suspension without pay of employee number 1397 following the service upon the employee of disciplinary charges, pending the final determination of those charges. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees in the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving disciplinary action. Resolved that the Village of Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow and/or Police Commissioner hereby authorizes pursuant to unconsolidated laws 5711Q the disciplinary action of employee 1513. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed or abstentions? The resolution is approved.
Resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sleepy Hollow approving MOA with PBA. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby ratifies and approves the 2021 to 2026 Memorandum of Agreement with the Sleepy Hollow PBA. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? The resolution is approved. Thanks to all in our police department and our legal folks and Mr. Giacchio for completing that contract in a timely manner. It's
Yeah.
appreciated by all. Okay, old business, new business. We've got one thing under old business. We had a question that came up on our last meeting from a member of the public who asked what the affordable housing criteria would be at Edge on Hudson. There are 61 affordable units at Edge on Hudson that will be coming online likely this fall, maybe as early as October. The affordable criteria will be folks who work for the village. Well, the first one is going to be income qualification. So you can't make too much money. And you have to make enough to be able to afford the rent. So there'll be a chart that, based on family size, that will be circulated by the village. So assuming someone qualifies income-wise, it will be, do they work for the village? Do they volunteer for the village, meaning our ambulance corps or our fire department? Are they a senior who currently lives in the village? Or are they someone who works in the village? The applications will first be vetted by an outside group who will confirm income qualifications and family size, and then those criteria will be applied to determine the folks who will be able to move in those units. Looks like there will be 1s, 2s, and I think some 3s in the affordable units, so they are family appropriate, and be kind of cool to see those happen. Any other old business or new business? And Ms. McCarthy-Tompkins, communications to the board.
Yes, some communications came in regarding the,
They actually
I'm sorry.
came, that's all right.
Okay.
They-
Communications to the village, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they came
Yes.
to me, two types. One was a dog park at Barnard Park, and we also received several emails for a dog park at Douglas Park. I did want to relay that message to the board.
We'll have to take a look at that and see if either one of those physically are, to start with, a place where we could put one in, and then make a judgment by the board about whether or not we think it's appropriate to set aside park space for a dog park. I would say another dog park, because there's a really good one in Kingsland Point Park, but we'll take a look at that. I know the board got a communication from former trustee Patrick Monroe, in which he, I guess, implied legal action in Article 78 against the village because of his concern over the intersection at 448 and New Broadway and Route 9 and Beekman Avenue. And he's brought his concerns to the attention of this board several times, and we have responded to Mr. Monroe both in person, I know I have, multiple times, and I've responded during our meetings as well, and explaining that any changes at that intersection, restriping and some of the other things that Mr. Monroe would like to see, and we would like to see as well, is up to New York State DOT. and that it's the same issues that he had that he's told me when he was on the board, and getting DOT to move is incredibly difficult. We have not been passive in this process. We have, in fact, commissioned yet again a traffic study, because the last time DOT spoke to us, they said, oh, we need a traffic study. And the 3 that they already had, plus the one that we know that they did on their end, apparently, it was a stall tactic, so we're calling their bluff. And we've commissioned another traffic study, and we'll supply them with that information as soon as it is complete. I did take offense to one thing that Mr. Monroe did say in his email communication with us, and that is that he had a quote from somebody else that said, government only acts, something to the effect that government only acts when they are embarrassed or threatened. And it's like, that may have been the case, Mr. Monroe, when you were on the board, but that is not the case with this board. We have acted tonight decisively on several different things. We recently adopted a budget. We've done a ton of stuff here, and we didn't do any of those things because we were threatened or embarrassed. So that I did not appreciate. All right, we'll move on to any other public comments.
I have one communication,
Please.
sorry. Mr. Robert Cohn, C-O-N-N, of Horseman Boulevard, sent an email regarding electric grills. He's concerned about electric grills being used on the second floor balconies. I forward that to the board and also to Mr. McCarthy and Police Chief.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any public comments? I do not see anyone raising their hand. I would like to have a brief executive session to discuss a personnel matter at the close of this meeting. So I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for that purpose.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Thirded. All right, somebody over here seconded. All right, first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention. All right, we are in executive session. I expect that when we finish the executive session, we will simply end it, and then we will adjourn our meeting and take no further action this evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we look forward to seeing you at our work session next week.